years and years on a team called Family Traditions. Monday mornings, he's always there, does everything. Roy is the coach. Oh, I'm too far away from the antennas. Put them antennas up, please. Right. Decent. Roy, you want to come here and do this so we don't get disconnected? I'll do that part for you. I think we can go right from here. We're okay.
Ray really threw me a curveball. I feel like sort of like I'm announcing the bridesmaid after the bride has already come into the venue here. But I have about a 10-minute dissertation all planned out, so I'm sure you're all happy that maybe I'll just cut that short. We did. I'm not nearly as practiced at this as I used to be, so I'm not so eloquent or entertaining as you might hope. But I had talked a little bit about Tom, and when I first came on Family Traditions, it was in August of 2010. I'd just gotten laid off from work, no longer had a job. I was pretty distraught, for a couple of months about that, like anybody would be. But then after a little while, I said, that just means more time to play softball. So I decided to sign up for Monday morning softball. Got the first preseason practice in August of 2010. And it was one of those days that was like 900 degrees.
Nice, turn them off.
Something went away. It was like 900 degrees outside. And a few of you probably remember there's a guy that used to play with us that was on that team. He had shown up for his first Family Traditions practice session. His name was Knox Bardeen. Some of you remember him. And Knox was a California boy. Wasn't really used to playing softball here in Georgia in August. And after about an hour or maybe an hour and a half of Tom's practice, Knox fell out. We drug him over, got him under a shade tree, got him some water, Gatorade, and whatever. Still didn't look too good, so we called an ambulance. Ambulance came, got him, hauled him off to the hospital. And you would think, well, that was probably the end of the practice. Something like that happened. No, the rest of us, Tom back out on the field for about another hour. Tom was really, I made the note that day, Tom seemed like a really nice guy, but he was serious about softball. And some of the stuff you've already heard about playing with Barney Green and some of those other guys, Tom played not only in CSSA, but travel teams. He went down to Florida to those batting clinics and stuff like that. He was serious softball player. And he was driven to win. He wanted to be the best player. You heard him talking about the knee replacements and needing oxygen in the dugout and stuff like that. Tom was driven to be the best player and have the best team that he could. And over the years that followed that, I learned that pretty well. He wasn't afraid to tell you if you weren't playing up to your ability. And he would often let us know that when we weren't playing so well. Tom was a veteran of the U.S. Army, fought in Vietnam. I think part of that drive for success and his mentality came from that Army experience and training. And he was not only a good softball player, he's a good person, as we talked about. You heard already, he just a stand-up guy. He wanted to win, but he never bent the rules. He was a straight-up guy. He wanted to win under the regulations and within the rules, unlike some of the characters that I see around here. I won't mention any names, but anyway, to cut a long story even longer, the Family Traditions team wanted to honor Tom, and back here, some of you may be able to see this, some of you may have to see it later. We have a Family Tradition jersey, number 15, which was Tom's jersey when he was playing with us. Down at the bottom, there's a little plaque there. It says Tom Ballard, CSSA Coach Emeritus, thanks for all you have done. I think we already heard a lot about how Tom was such a giving person, trying to help anybody he could. If you were having trouble hitting the ball, you know, he'd tell you, oh, you need to pull it, you need to hit it to the opposite field, you need to do this, do that. He was always willing to help anybody. In fact, I was often aggravated at him because he would tell guys that weren't on our team, I'm like, Tom, don't help them, you know. We got to play them next week. We don't want to help them. But that was the kind of guy he was. So, CSSA Coach Emeritus, Tom Ballard.